A color wheel is probably too impractical for KI to incorporate into the game setup, but they most certainly can add color palettes for skin tones and hair. Our wizard should be able to be green, blue, red if we so choose. They could even add a few skins that have a slight glow to them. This could be incorporated through the magic mirror, as well as adding more hairstyles. In addition to that, one or two that glows or one or two that moves slightly, kind of like Familia's hair, as well as adding half and half hair colors. They already got rainbow, so that wouldn't be too far off. Accessories, I want in the magic mirror horns, but they can also add horns as headgear in the bazaar, tails and ears, think of like a dragon or a cat, etc. Let's have a little fun with our character instead of them being a plain boring humanoid. Face masks by themselves, not headgear or attached to a hood. An eye patch plus blindfold, giving your character some mystique. And now they do have freckles in the Magic Mirror face paint category, so they can expand with some other facial details like beauty mark, scars, burn mark if anybody wants to be Zuko the wizard. They have glasses already as well. Why not add a monocle, shades, steampunk goggles? Things that add character. And if they ever do add these additions, they should make it so you're able to select multiple, at least 2 to 3, because you can't layer with the little they're giving us right now. Now, on to the clothing. To start with, I don't think any change is feasible to our actual character models at this point, but I do enjoy when certain clothing kind of has its own body. Point A, Familia's dress. Unfortunately, it's hidden behind a pack. But see how it also adds a subtle body to your character, and then the spikes or flares, whatever, the bottom of the dress also move just like Familia's original dress. Not as much, it's really subtle, but it's definitely moving. It's okay, I can do it if they want to. To even add on to that, they created some sneakers and put them in the crown shop. They should be giving us free clothing after having the same for how long has this game's been running? But ciao, anyways, there's a lot of things in the game but only for NPCs that I think would look really nice for our characters. Take this Avalon armor here, for example. I love it. We get watered down versions of it that's basically still a robe to do better. Next is this cute little armor dress from Dragonspire, and if you notice, the arm is sleeveless. And I mention this because I want the dang symbols and maybe some other new Wiz and related tattoos to be somewhere other than the face. It's so tacky. So it's definitely possible. They just choose not to do it for our wizards. And next is a soldier from Dragonspire, but this kind of NPC can also be found in the catacombs, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, his outfit slays too. The next is the Aquila outfits. The dresses are just to die for. But keep the arms sleeveless. Next is Bert. I really like his scholarly look. Then my girl, Renee. His outfit is just so cute to me. But again, we don't have it. Next is, of course, another one from Dragonspire, fashion capital at this point. But this one kind of reminds me of a olden Scotland Yard detective uniform, just a little modernized, and that's why I love it so much. And I want it on my character. Next is the icon Belladonna. If you're going to give us Familia's dress, give us Belladonna, and not hide it behind any packs. Say it with me now. If it's on an NPC, it should be available for me. Next is adding some more weapons. I think the game has a decent variety, but the ones I really want to see implemented are blasters, fantasy pew-pews, single hand and dual wielded swords or knives. The flying axe, I just love that weapon. And a bat with thorns. The cow mobs in Lumeria already have a bat as a weapon. We again just don't. But the icing on the cake would be having glowing hands as weapons. Think of Starfire or Raven basically. And the casting animation would be shooting their hands in a similar way. We're wizards, for goodness sake, let's shoot some magical beams. Just on a sidebar of that, this whip I love is hidden behind a pack. How messed up is that? Next up is a trading system. Trade anything with friends with the exception of golden crowns. So gear, spellments, furniture, pets, regions, plants, pet snacks, the whole shebang. The only two that's going to be limited is the gear trading and spellments, in the sense that you need to trade similar gear from the same place essentially. It doesn't have to be the same SKU because that would defeat the purpose, but it would be novice cloak for novice cloak, Wallaroo hood for Wallaroo hood, you get it. So that way people are still working for it without getting it for free. Now the opposite is going to be for the spellments, referring to you can only trade it to the Wiz whose school it is. For a simplification, Ship of Foods can only be traded to death, and only if they have the badge for that key boss that drops in initially. But everything else fair game. Speaking of the cards, treasure cards in addition to gold can now be put in your bank and share a bank. For those that have multiple characters and one is broke but your other is max gold, would be nice to transfer over some funds, wouldn't it? Next up, guild updates. Guild member limit increased to 100. At least 10 Azoth will be dropping from the daily Azoth reward fields unlocked now. The islands will now cost less Azoth to unlock, and the Azoth needed to transmute will cost 5 regular Azoth on the Grill Crafter, but with the transmute Azoth spells it'll cost 3 regular Azoth now. And all anvils will only cost 2 cantrip users to fully unlock. No donation limit on furniture. It's not like they're gonna put 500 down at once. And there should still be like a limit on whatever. Anyway, where was I? Okay, and raids can be conducted without leadership participation because not everybody is always gonna be available. And now, reporting to the Guild House, once a week, a new task or quest rewarding Azoth will be prompted, similar to daily assignments. It could be defeat 100 riding fodders by whatever the week ends from after you accepted the task, and then receive 100 Azoth as a reward, and etc. Moving on, now it probably won't be feasible for them to make Wiz 101 and Power 101 into one membership, but they most definitely can bundle it. If someone wants to have both like me, you can make it so it's $4 to $5 for each game with both, so then you're only paying $8 to $10 for two for the price of one, instead of about $19, because by itself each one costs $9.95 plus tax. So I actually love Pirate 101, but I've invested so much time and money into it, so I just gotta keep with it. I'm probably not going to buy Pirate until they do a bundle like this, to be honest. That's one way to make the paywall more bearable and give back to your members. Another great idea I have for that is a birthday gift for players. The Wiz anniversary really opened my eyes. It gave nothing back. They just put stuff in the crown shop. So the birthday gift idea I envision is on a player's birthday, the game will gift them any 2 items off their wish list. So appreciation for your player base. And since they're not going to get rid of the crown shop, I even have a way to make that more funds friendly. A new feature, weekly discount. Every week, one section of the crown shop is going to be off 50%. So one week it could be mounts, next week packs. You get the idea. Guys should really get on board with this idea because it's more tempting to spend money when you hear 50% off, right? Moving on. A small pet update I have in mind is leveling a pet to epic and beyond will grant you a randomized reward. Leveling a pet already gives 1 talent token, but maybe they'll give more with this update, and other randomized rewards include mega snacks, hash peppers, and pet related elixirs. And then other small but beneficial updates would be potions are now refilled with leveling up too, because usually it's just your health and mana. Mini games now raise activity energy as well. Mascarology breadcrumbs are now a thing, one that allows you to control your house guests. They either move in one spot or allows you to control the distance they travel. Nothing too crazy. To add the extract, enemy spells have been lowered to 10,000 for all. The spell shouldn't cost the same as hatching a pet, especially not for Mascarology. The all plant gardening spells are no longer hidden behind the garden pack. They're just going to be a little expensive in the bazaar. And then a flying mount, no object, just your character floating, adding some more magic to the game, and it's buyable with gold. In addition, a few more temporary mounts are going to be put back in the bazaar, which I think is very good for beginner players. And adding 2 multiplayer mounts in the bazaar. My suggestions are like a cop car, 4-person, like a wagon like Rollaroo, 4-person, or like a sofa mount, probably like 2 to 3, and then a horse, a horse or unicorn like it be a 2-person. Those are just some suggestions I have for. And then there's going to be now a no-cost invisible helm slash hat. Wizards can equip to. Always going to be a free Stitch as well. Because like sometimes I just do not want the headgear, but just the stats. And then you have to, right now, you have to, for the hair, you have to pay for a crown hair to stitch it to just a hair, which is stupid. And then the radio menu is discontinued because it is not working. And emotes are going to be selectable for menu chat once again. And still emotes are added, poses basically. A little gift for YouTubers to get some good thumbnails. Now, last, but probably one of my craziest ideas is a character combat move. Think of Pirate 101 like so. Like they're close up. And then, only with certain new weapons added, the combat move is going to be a 2-pip wand hit because your char is going to attack the enemy, so it has to follow the similar coding of like when the wizard is like in the sigil. Going to deal 300 base damage to yourself and your enemy has to have above 300 damage for it to be used, and can't be used with any boosts, plays, auras, etc. I don't know, I just think that was a fun little idea. So these are the concepts I have for like a new patch. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Peace.